Before we talk to some actual scouts and scout leaders, wanted to get to a person who can speak on this brand marketing that they're trying to do here, Lindsey Harrison. How are you? Welcome to the program.
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
This brand strategy, you heard Rocky talking about it, especially there. They're trying to extend the brand to make more money. Simple as that, correct?
That's exactly what it is. That is all that they are trying to do. It's about money and it's about memberships. And they have now just made it to where 50% of the population they can now go after as well. So I completely agree with that.
So Lindsey, you know a lot about branding, but to me, I understand you want to get more people to buy your product, which creates more money, all that. But at some point, if you drastically affect your brand, you've killed it. It has no worth, no value anymore. So in your opinion, dealing with brands, does this attempt to get more people involved, is it ultimately going to destroy what the foundation of the brand of Boy Scouts is and once was?
I don't think so at all. So it's already in Canada, it's already in Europe that the girls are allowed to be part of Boy Scouts, and it's no longer called Boy Scouts. And I think that in the next few months, we're going to see that it's now going to be called Scouts of America. And at that point, I mean, if you haven't been part of this or you haven't had a conversation about this or heard about this, you're going to just probably think that Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts joined together. And the Girl Scouts are upset about it because they didn't do it first, in my opinion.
You know what? That makes sense.
That does make sense.
But you know what? And let's face it, we're talking about little kids here, Lindsey, for the most part, at tops, pubescent kids. We're talking 13, 14-year-old kids. Some go on to be Eagle Scouts and whatnot. But, is a 13-year-old boy going to want to join the Girl Scouts? There's a certain stigma attached to that. I'm sorry.
There totally is. But, you've got girls that are wanting to join the Boy Scouts.
Why? Why can't they join the Girl Scouts? What's the issue? I don't understand it.
Well, so I don't know the exact events that are happening. However, if you're going camping or if you are painting pictures, I mean, to be completely honest with you, I would consider myself a girly girl, but when I was younger, I would probably want to go camping instead of what the Girl Scouts were doing.
Well, that's what we were talking, and Lindsey, I'm sorry to interrupt, but that's what we were talking about. Now, I don't know if you can speak to this or not. I don't know the difference between what the Girl Scouts do and what the Boy Scouts do. I mean, do the boys go camping and the girls learn how to bake cakes? I don't know how. You tell me.
Well, there definitely are certain things in that to where this would be considered a boy thing and this would be considered a girl thing. I don't know exactly what it is that they do, but I do know that as a girl, it would be a lot easier for me to join a guy's team than a guy to join a girl's team, and that's just our culture and the way that we are. So, yeah, I also think that it's more convenient for parents. I mean, I remember being younger, and I had a friend of mine that she was part of the Girl Scouts and her brother was part of the Boy Scouts, and they would drop the boy off and then we would either drive around or do a few errands for the hour because we weren't included in that. But now you've got something where...
Yeah, but we're compromising the intent of the organization, which in the case of Boy Scouts is to prepare young men for life, for the real world, for, how to do things, manly type things, how to survive, that sort of thing. But now we're compromising that because Dad doesn't want to take Susie to Girl Scouts practice on this side of town and Boy Scouts on this side of town. That's a slippery slope, is what I'm saying, Lindsey.
Well, I think that it's a reality, though. And I also know that they aren't going to allow girls and boys to mingle at a younger age. I don't know what it is that they're doing older because they haven't said anything about that yet. But still in your dens, if you like, it's going to be all girls or all boys. So you're still going to have those lessons. However, it is more convenient for a parent to do that. And that is reality.
Lindsey Harrison is our guest. And Lindsey, have they come up with a vaccine for cooties? Because when I was about 9 years old, I would be afraid that I would catch the cooties from these girls when we'd go to do some event together. Because my point being is that little boys and little girls don't necessarily get along at that age.
Well, right, and that's what I'm saying. They
that's
already
just
have
human
that
nature.
Figured out. Right, they've already figured that out, though. Boys and girls are not going to mix, but they're all just going to be over the site, or they're going to be under the same umbrella.
All right, so are boys and girls going to go on camping trips together? Are they going to go out in the woods and learn skills like, survival and how to start a fire together, or no?
Learn a different skill.
Well, while they're young, from what it is that I have seen, they are not going to be together.
Okay, what is do you know what age we're talking? Because here's the overlying issue to me. So you put a boy in Boy Scouts because you want them to learn some of these skills and how to start a fire and what to do to be warm out in the wilderness. So you're trying to teach these kids these skills, but then you add a girl to the mix. And if you're 12 and you're 13, Lindsey, and all of a sudden all that teaching and learning you're doing goes out the window because the boys are in competition with one another because they want to show off to the girl and impress the girl. So the whole concept of why we're here and why we're doing Boy Scouts is thrown completely out the window. It's not attacking the problem or what we're trying to get out of the organization.
The intent.
Yeah.
Right, and I understand that, and I agree with that completely. However, they've already figured that out to where the boys are in one side and the girls are on the other side. They are not mingling together.
All right, and with that, Lindsey Harrison, we appreciate you talking to us, a branding expert, Lindsey Harrison. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.